When we say Ramayana, most of us think of one single perfect story. The one we grew up listening to, the one we saw on TV. The divine journey of Lord Ram, Sita, and their struggles. But what if I told you the story you know is not the only version? Well, that might not surprise you because most of us do know that two major versions exist. The first is the original Valmiki Ramayana and the second Tulsidas Ramcharitmanas. If you truly consider yourself a Ram devotee, you should know what's written in both. And today, I am going to surprise you. So let's begin with one of the most famous stories, the Lakshman Rekha. We have all heard it, how Ravan could not cross it, how Sita stepped out and got abducted, but here's the truth. There is no mention of Lakshman Rekha in Valmiki Ramayana. In that version, Lakshman simply folds his hand and walks away after being insulted by Sita. No magical line, no divine protection. In Tulsidas Ramcharitmanas, it is Tulsidas who introduced the Lakshman Rekha. He describes it as a protective barrier drawn around the hut, something no demon or wild beast could cross. That's we all know, right? That's the version that became popular and entered our collective memories. So, in Valmiki's Ram is Purushottam, the best among men. He is human, noble, brave, disciplined, but still human. There is no reference of him being an avatar of Vishnu. Not until the very end when his story concluded. But in Ramcharitmanas, Ram is divine from the start. He is not just a prince, he is Lord of Vishnu himself, born to destroy evil. Tulsidas, being a devotee, presents Ram through the eyes of faith, not just literature, so that's obvious. But in Valmiki's version, the story ends tragically and spiritually. Sita returns to Mother Earth, Lakshman drowns himself in Sarayu river, and Ram walks into the river to end his mortal journey. But in Ramcharitmanas, takes a different route. It ends on a happier note, with the birth of love and Kush, the reunion of Ram and Sita, and no mention of Lakshman's death or Sita's disappearances. The more devotional closure focused on hope rather than sorrow, But in Valmiki Ramayana, Valmiki describes Hanuman as a member of the Vanra tribe, a race of forest dwellers, known for strength and intelligence. We all know how this Vanra tribe thing works, right? They are not literal monkeys, they are a distinct warrior clan. But in Tulsidas' version, Hanuman is shown as a monkey throughout. Still powerful, still divine, but the tribal depth is simplified. That said, Tulsidas' devotion to Hanuman is unmatched. He gave us Hanuman Chalisa, Hanuman Bahuk, and so more. So, no comparison here. But now let's talk about something very close to my heart, a difference that hits on female agency and power. When I read Valmiki's Ramayana, one thing stood out crystal clear to me. Sita was not the soft-spoken VP woman we have all seen on TV. She was strong, outspoken, courageous, and yes, sometimes she even challenged Ram. I know many of you probably never imagined Sita questioning Ram, but that's exactly how things happens in Valmiki's version. She is portrayed as his equal partner, not just a shadow, not just a follower. Meanwhile, in Ramcharitmanas, things shift. Sita becomes more subdued, more gentle, more submissive. Now, I'm not blaming Tulsidas. After all, he wrote in the 16th century, a time when women didn't get a voice in society, let alone in epic poetry. So yes, the way Sita is portrayed reflects the social norms of the time. But don't tell me you can't see the difference. Valmiki's Sita, roars, and Tulsidas' Sita whispers. But in Valmiki Ramayana, Sita is forcefully kidnapped by Ravan. She is dragged away, terrified, angry, helpless. And when Ram finally rescues her, he asks her to walk through fire to prove her purity. We all saw it on TV, right? That was very dramatic, painful, emotional, and the most controversial part, if you ask me. But in Ramcharitmanas, it plays out completely different. Here, Ram already knows what's coming. He foresees Sita's kidnapping and actually informs her beforehand. They created a plan, a spiritual strategy. So, the concept was Maya Sita and Chaya Sita. A Maya Sita is created, a shadow copy. The real Sita is sent into Agni Dev's protection before Ravan even touches her. So when Agni Pariksha actually happens later, it's not a test at all. It's a switch. The real Sita returns and the shadow vanishes. Our most romantic part about, this Swamvar scene, the one we all saw on TV, kings lined up, that dramatic music, Ram lifted the bow and Sita blushing. But in Valmiki's version, there was no grand Swamvar. No packed audience, no crowd of princes. King Janak had a quiet custom actually. Whenever a strong visitor came to his court, he showed them Shiv's bow, and only they could lift it would he consider them for Sita. When Ram lifted the bow, Janak understood this man was different, divine, worthy, and so he married Sita to Ram. That was very simple and respectful. The Tulsidas version is the one we all remember. The drama, the chanting, and the clashes with Parshuram. Now for the last one, and honestly the most shocking. We have all grown up hearing about Dashrath's 3 queens, Kaushalya Mata, Kaikeyi Mata, and Sumitra Mata. But according to Valmiki, Dashrath had 350 wives. Yes, 350. Only 3 gave him children, but technically Ram had 349 other mothers. So, what should you believe? Which version is true Ramayana? The truth is, your beliefs depend on your intuitions, your faith, and your personal choice. My goal is not to question your devotion at all, but to invite you to look deeper, to explore our stories with fresh eyes, and to understand that mythology is layered just like life itself. Did any of these facts surprise you? Which version do you believe is closer to truth? Tell me in the comment section, but remember, always respectful. And if you want more such insights where mythology meets honest opinion, hit that subscribe button down there and join me here on Dev PaurAnika. Until next time, keep questioning, keep believing.